And for me, I always imagined what it would be like if I had ever had to be a spy as a human being. These are the things I think about. Like I would never be able to do it.
There we go. It's good to see you too.
Nice to see you. Yeah.
Allan, Josephine, thank you so much again for the time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Oh.
Same.
See, that's great partners.
I'll try not to cry this time, okay?
One of my favorite interviews. I'm not even kidding. Honestly. And we're back. Season 2,
yeah,
Saint-Pierre. Welcome back. What was that like to get that renewal? How are you excited to bring these characters back to life again?
Super excited. We had a good feeling about this because on a spiritual level, I was like, very spiritual. I was like, how is it possible that life brought this, that life brought us together and that we had so much fun and that the show is so good to take it away from us after one season? It doesn't make sense to me. So for me, that was my point of view. I knew there would be another season because otherwise it would have been it would have been unfair, you know? But yeah, it was amazing to be back. I remember when he sent me a message, I was on my way back to Paris and I had been waiting for this like call or text for like days and weeks. And he said just like, do you wanna be Arch for another season? And I was like, hell yes, I want to be Arch for another 10 seasons. So yeah, it was one of the best news ever. So happy to be back.
I feel like the place, Saint-Pierre and the people are like a part of the production team in a way. Like they I don't know, like I try not to get too much into like what you're not looking for notes from a place because it's a fictionalized version of this wonderful little gem in the world. And I feel like there's like a great dynamic between our production team and the people in the place. Like I feel like they're not like flipping out with excitement, but they're also not annoyed. And they're like you describe them best, I feel like, as a place. They're just really cool about everything, about who they are, what they're doing in the world, and us being there. Like it's like some sort of like really nice, organic, authentic relationship. Like our show is not like filled with like divas or ego, so no one's running around town being a notorious tool. Like everyone's pretty great. So it's like I feel like there's a great respect that our crew and our cast show Saint-Pierre, and there's like at least some sort of like putting up with us from them. at the absolute worst, I feel like they put up with us.
And I remember a beautiful moment. We did a screening last year for the people of Saint-Pierre, episode 1 of season 1. And I remember the first drone shot of the island. Everybody in the room went, oh. And it was very touching because they live here, and the fact that they saw their island on screen, they really loved what it looked like on screen.
Yeah.
It gave me the chills. Everybody said, oh, this is our island. This is us.
You know what I remember about that screening? There was a full Q&A afterwards in French, and I don't speak or understand it.
Yeah, I had to translate.
Josephine was just whispering in my ear that I'd have to. It was
a lot of work.
A comedy in itself. Our DP, Ian Vatcher, he like somehow, whatever way he is lighting, shooting, positioning. Like we don't shoot anything if it's not the backlight is not the right place for where Ian wants it. Or like when we shoot outdoors in Saint-Pierre, like every moment of it is like a real love letter to the beauty of the place. And we go through the edits of every episode. I'm cutting every episode, and I'm like, sometimes just the breathtaking beauty of the place and how Ian shoots it, it honestly takes my breath away. It's like it's such a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Season one was more about like from strangers to partners, and season two is more from partners to friends. So that's how the dynamic is changing. Oh my God, they're going to go through a lot.
There's like a lot of like real,
Ooh.
there's a lot of like high pressure stuff in season two from, we have 12 episodes. Each episode is of course contained with like an explosive episodic story, but then there's like this really interesting serialized arc where you're getting to know these people, and like particularly what Arch is going through with, the revelation about Gallagher and like him being her father, and uncovering like what would he have known and what would she be in this world with if they had been together. Like there's just so many layers that I think it's really fun to unpack, and then they have to go through it together, and then we learn about Fitz and his backstory.
And his past, yeah.
So it's kind of an interesting. It's a real fun thing to play, and I feel like season two was an extension of season one. And in the old days, it would have been one full season, right?
I love the way it's written because it's very subtle, little subtleties that build the relationship. It's not too obvious, and I think it makes it very like genuine and real, and it's just like baby steps. And we wonder where is this gonna go, but it's very lovely. Yeah, I loved filming that because it's very subtle. All the little what like what do every like what does he know? What do I know? Does he know that I know? It's a little game between the characters. A lot of things that are not being said, but it was very interesting to play. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Allan, we, as you said, we learn more about Fitz's backstory, and I don't want to say too much, but we do get to hear a little bit about the toll of his history being undercover. I don't want to give anything away. And I wondered that for you both, as you're preparing these characters and leaning into their backstories, certainly if your conversations with other police or anything in your preparation, the idea of the toll that it takes on them, I was wondering what you learned about that.
Well, there's two things here. Like we are creating a fictionalized Saint-Pierre, and we're also like creating a fictionalized version of this reality. Like you said once, like the majority of these cases would take 15 years to solve, not 43 minutes and 17 seconds. So you're like, there's a certain element of it that is fantasy, and then there's like the magic of it being in this fantasy place of Saint-Pierre. It's really like, it's not like filled with the baggage of what these stories could be. So there's like a really nice, comfortable thing for a viewer to be like, okay, I know I'm in a place where there's a moral compass with these characters. I know I can trust them, some of them, and I can question some of them, but I know the people and the journey I'm on is a safe one, and it's like a way for me to escape from the everyday world. So like that's like something that happened organically in what this show was from its very creation. It's like, let's take you on a journey, and then explosively per episode, like what's the coolest stuff that we can throw at these people? what do we, how do we get to know them? Not just our characters, but our other characters like Patty and Renouf, and in season 1, certainly we're learning so much about Marcus, and how do we do that and then build it into the plot? Because we do have 43 minutes and 17 seconds. So it's like, you can't waste a second of what these personal stories are. So, you're getting to sort of like delve into who these people are. In that episode where we discover more about Fitz's backstory, like that's also our A plot. So it's like, and for me, I always imagined what it would be like if I had ever had to be a spy as a human being. These are the things I think about. Like, I would never be able to do it. The anxiety that would bring me, the deceit, the living in that lie, the constantly having to work people. Like, I just couldn't. I was a salesman for 2 years when I was in like just graduated high school, like clothing salesman. And I hated it so much because you're convincing people to do something that's in your best interest. Like, so I imagine, like, as a layer, if you're an undercover cop or an operative or a spy, that's your job, is to convince these people to trust you and do what you want. And and if these characters have strong moral fabric, like, what would that do to someone who's a good person? And I just, it's fun to sort of play with that versus getting into too deep of like what this police force we have in Saint-Pierre is totally fictional. Like, these characters are living in a world that's like an escapism sort of thing for a viewer. So you kind of ride that balance and then just bring as much truth to it as you can. At least that's my angle on it.
I approve. I love it. I love your point of view.
Okay.
Yeah. I agree.
We have a stamp of approval. We're good.
Yeah. French stamp. Well, I guess, yeah. It's the work of a lifetime to be in peace with your past and to be like, what belongs to me, what does not belong to me, like everything that our parents and like just, anyways, it's a journey. It's a life journey, and it's very painful to face your past and to try to just getting to know, like, who am I really? Who is the real me? It's really painful. You have ups and downs, but I think it's more painful not to do it, because at the end, like, your past you're gonna have to deal with your past anyways, even if you run from it your entire life. So yeah, it's really interesting to put some of your own work that you're doing on yourself into your characters, because they are fictional characters, but they could be anyone. They could be real persons. And so yeah, it's very interesting, and I think that's what's happening for them. I mean, you can't run away from your past as fast as you can run. The past is going to be faster than you. Yeah, that would be my answer. I don't know.
I approve.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Episode 1 is a pretty explosive, cool ride. Like, the crimes around a serial killer and potential of it being serial killer, and you get stories of Saint-Pierre's past in the place's past in the first episode, which is pretty neat. And then there's like a lot of really cool worlds we dive into in every episode. One of them is a shipwreck episode. There's like a thing where we built like an airplane, where there's a whole airplane episode, which is really interesting. And then the finale is like pretty epic. It's a pretty great season. There's like a lot of action, a lot of
very
emotion,
diverse. Yeah, a lot of emotion. Yeah.
a lot of explosiveness.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty
Guns.
high
Yeah,
stakes,
yeah.
pretty high emotional stakes, high
Mm.
like it's an action-packed thing per episode. And we delve into some really serious things, and there's also like the levity, which I believe is like the core of the show, is the dynamic between these two and the other characters. Like there's always there's always tension, there's always friction, but there's always like a really cool humor.
I do love the show, honestly. And there's a stamp. Honestly, it's wonderful to chat with you both again. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Have a great day.
Thanks,
Thank you,
man.
you
Nice to
too.
see you. Thank you.
Nice to see you too. Bye-bye.